Okay, good evening, everyone. Welcome to B3 Live. My name is Dr. Mike DeBoard. I am the president and founder of B3 Sciences, and tonight you're going to learn about a new way to exercise. And boy, are you going to learn about a new way to lose weight. You're going to hear some amazing stories, but most important, after tonight, you're never going to look at exercise the same way again. You know, in 2019, we launched this company, and we had a completely new concept. And I remember going out and sharing it with people and everybody kind of scratching their head. And we bring this concept of no more heavy weights. You want to build muscle? You don't have to lift heavy weights. You want to lose weight, tone up, get in shape, run faster, perform better? You don't have to work out for an hour anymore. You can do this from home. Amber's going to share with you tonight how she does it right at home in her basement. You can do it from work. You can do it when you travel. If you've got some home equipment, you're going to be able to use it in 10 to 15 minutes, but you don't necessarily have to have any, and you don't have to buy any expensive equipment. And best of all, when you do this exercise, no pain and soreness. And here's the breakthrough. This is going to turn on growth hormone in your body like most of you have never experienced. Now, fast forward to last year. Moms and dads, almost 10,000 people started exercising the new way. Seniors, kids, millennials, athletes, celebrities. Down there in the bottom left-hand corner, Mark Wahlberg, the movie star, doctors, personal trainers, athletic trainers, physical therapists, even physically challenged people. Look at these USA Olympians and Olympic teams that are now using B3 bands: ski and snowboard, Nordic and cross country, swimming, volleyball, weightlifting, track and field. There's a couple of our celebrities. Why are people like Mark Wahlberg and Nick Cannon using it? Less weight and less time, easier on their body. They get a better pump on their muscles, no pain, and more growth hormone and faster results. You've probably heard of these guys. Dr. Mercola, one of the most famous doctors online for natural medicine. And I know you've all heard of Dr. Oz. About 6 weeks ago, we were on the Dr. Oz show, and Mark Wahlberg was showing him how to use the bands. Why do they love it? These doctors and many of our health professionals love it because there's scientific studies backing this. And we have studies on B3 bands showing they're completely safe. And there's additional benefits. Oh, you're going to lose weight and tone up and build muscle, but you're going to hear how this is going to impact the heart, your bones, and your brain. If you watched the Super Bowl the other night, you saw the Kansas City Chiefs, former Super Bowl champions, Rick Burkholder, their head athletic trainer, uses it in their training room, used it on Patrick Mahomes, uses it to build strength and muscle in his players, to relieve pain, and even he and his family, his daughter, who's a high school tennis player, is using these to increase her performance. Many of you are busy professionals. Here's Craig. He never leaves his office. Heck, he doesn't even change his clothes, and he doesn't sweat. He works out for 10 minutes. He's getting big growth hormone, and look at the guns on that guy. How about weight loss? You're going to hear about this tonight. Stan's one of our people that doesn't want to work out for 45 minutes, doesn't want to lift weights, doesn't want to go to the gym. He worked out in his basement for 15 to 20 minutes, 4 days per week, 5 days per week, and lost 100 pounds in 9 months. And what if you are 60, 70, 80 years old and you think your days of building muscle are over? Not anymore. John's one of our many men in their 70s. He added an inch to his arm doing light exercises in the morning before work in a little time of 6 weeks. Chris in his 50s, he's one of our leaders out in Preston, Idaho, added 10 pounds of muscle. Danny, one of our college kids, in a matter of 8 weeks, added 15 pounds of muscle. It's not just men. Ladies are adding muscle, and they're doing it with less weight and less time. Easy exercises that they can do and not be sore, and they're building growth hormone. And guess what, ladies? When you get growth hormone going, Amber's going to talk about tonight, not only do you lose weight, but you're going to look and feel younger. Kids, now kids can start building muscle and strength and performance much earlier in life. There's several of our kids starting at 6 years old, and a couple of our boys that play baseball, 12 and 13 years old. No stress on the growth plates. What's the best about it? You know, many of these kids, they don't like the 30, 45-minute hour workouts, 10 to 15 minutes. It keeps their attention, builds strength and muscle. And you talk about an unfair athletic advantage. If you have any athletes in your house, in your family, or some of your grandchildren, if they're working out with B3 bands, a complete unfair advantage. How about people who are physically challenged? This is Homer. Homer was in a wheelchair. Within 2 weeks of simply doing light standing up and sitting down exercises, there's his wife helping him. He would sit down, stand up, sit down, stand up. He'd feel a wonderful fatigue in his legs. In 2 weeks, he's standing. In 4 weeks, he's walking. How about people in pain? This is Jennifer. She had fibromyalgia for about 10 years and could no longer exercise. Within a few short weeks, listen to what she said. I now have muscle and energy and no longer have depression. I never thought any of this was possible. How about people who have arthritis in their shoulder or back or knee? Tim's a senior pickleball player. For 20 years, his knee's been achy and swollen. Within 2 weeks, he says he no longer has knee pain. His knee is no longer swollen. I never thought any of this was possible. How about building muscle? How about some maybe of our weightlifters out there, our bodybuilders, or people that used to be bodybuilders like Greg Whitehead, former Mr. Indiana? Well, now Greg, approximately 50 years old, can no longer tolerate the heavy weights. So he can't build a body like he had back in his former Mr. Indiana days. Look at the guns on that guy. He works out in his basement with light dumbbells and tubing for 15 to 20 minutes. He never hurts. His joints don't hurt. He's not sore the next day, and he's got guns like he did back in the day. So what is this breakthrough? Well, it's a new technology that was discovered in Japan. Look at all those people there. They've got the bands on their arms and legs. The first thing it does is safely slows down blood flow. It doesn't cut it off. It's not a tourniquet. It's not a blood pressure cuff. It simply slows oxygen down. So as soon as you start exercising, like going for a walk or doing light weightlifting or swimming or getting on the bike or working on the vibration plate like Amber does, your muscles fatigue dramatically faster. I went to the gym tonight and I got on the elliptical machine, and there's people in there that are going 30 to 45 minutes. I was on the elliptical machine for 4 minutes and my legs felt like I had just run for 2 hours. Why? I had slowed oxygen down and my muscles fatigued in a fraction of the time. Now, here's the profound part. Everybody else in the gym at Planet Fitness is going for 30 or 45 minutes, and they're not even fatiguing at a level that creates growth hormone. Now, let me repeat this, and we're going to bring up a slide. Most people exercising, 99% cannot fatigue deep enough to get growth hormone. And here I am, on and off the elliptical in 4 minutes, and then I went and did some upper body exercises. I was done in 20 minutes and out the door. And I'm getting a big growth hormone surge that very few people, probably nobody in that gym was getting earlier tonight. And I've got no pain and soreness. Look at this growth hormone study. Most people are exercising above the growth hormone level. How do you know if you're getting growth hormone? It's very simple. When you exercise, you feel the burn. You see, most people, they're exercising and they never feel the burn. But if they feel it, it only lasts a few seconds. When you put the bands on, you're going to feel this wonderful light lactic acid burn. And then about 15 minutes after exercise, you're going to realize a big growth hormone surge. In this study, and there's 7 of them posted on our website, these middle-aged men in their 50s, 25 times increase in growth hormone. Now, let me put this in perspective. For all of you on the live call, for everybody watching the recording, and for Amber, because she learned this, you've probably never in your life experienced a growth hormone surge that you're going to get every single day you put the bands on. And when you do that, you're going to learn tonight how that sends your metabolism through the roof, which sends through the roof the amount of calories you burn on a daily basis. And here's the problem. It's all fine and good when we're teenagers and in our 20s. We've got plenty of natural growth hormone. But as we get older, our 30s, 40s, and 50s, that growth hormone slows down. Look at that chart. When we get to 40, we are less than 1/3 of the growth hormone we had when we were in our early 20s. And that's when all the problems start. Metabolism slows down, weight gain, aging. And this is the thing we're going to talk about tonight. You know, you're eating the same thing, you're exercising, but you're losing muscle and you're gaining weight and you're losing energy. You have fatigue. Amber's going to talk about this. The hormones slow down and you get all kinds of problems with that. But here's the challenge with diet. You see, when your growth hormone slows down, your metabolism slows down. And then you start dieting. And you know, these diets work for a couple weeks, but then you stop losing weight. And then you actually start putting more weight back on when you eat normal. Why? Because you're trying to diet to solve a growth hormone problem. Now, let me repeat this. Most people are dieting to try and solve a growth hormone problem. Now, smart eating makes sense, but as you're going to learn tonight, that's not the solution. The solution is tapping into natural growth hormone in your body. And not only will it skyrocket your metabolism, but it'll actually turn back the clock 5 to 15 years. And there's only 2 ways for you to get this growth hormone. Let's start at the bottom of this slide. Expensive synthetic hormones, thousands of dollars every month, and many health risks. Or you can do high intensity exercise. But here's the problem. We're all in this same category. Most of us don't have time, let alone driving to the gym. When we get there or when we work out at home, we've got too much pain. And as you're going to learn tonight, Amber is one of the people, she was doing the exercise, but it wasn't high intensity. It wasn't creating the oxygen deficit and the fatigue to get the growth hormone. So many of you, you're exercising, but you're not seeing results. And of course, now we got the problem with social distancing. Let's go back to why it works. Here's Amber. She's working out, and she's going to share with you how much leaner and more muscle and how much energy she's got. You put demands on. It slows oxygen down. It doesn't hurt. It's completely safe. Now you do any form of light exercise, walking, mowing the yard, shoveling snow, cleaning the house, going up and down the steps, a workout video, your exercise bike, going to the gym, run, bike, or swim, and your muscles fatigue like you're doing high intensity exercise. Growth hormone then surges and your metabolism goes through the roof. And here is what Harvard says about getting the burn. Now remember, you can get the burn or the lactic acid by doing super high intensity exercise for 45 minutes, or now you can do 10 to 15 minutes of light exercise. And Harvard calls it afterburn. It's what happens in the next 24 hours when you do this kind of exercise. Very simply, your metabolism goes through the roof. So ladies, every time you put the bands on, do something 5, 10, 15 minutes, you're going to burn an extra 400 to 800 calories. Think about that. Every day, an extra 400 to 800 calories. Weight's going to come off fast, ladies. Men, 500 to 1,000 calories. Because when you do BFR with the bands, you get growth hormone. It kicks in this afterburn, and you lose weight fast. And we have made several products to help you with that. If you can simply substitute a meal a day with one of our delicious meal shakes, you'll lose weight faster. If you have problems eating between meals and you want to increase metabolism, turn off hunger, we got a delicious drink you can drink called B3 Satisfied. A couple more stories before we get to Amber. Ronnie and Kathy in their 60s. They're not going to the gym. They're not lifting heavy weights. No 45-minute CrossFit. They're not buying a Nordic track. They're not getting on the Peloton and climbing to the top of the mountain every day and getting off in a pool of sweat. Kathy and Ronnie will simply walk the dog. How many people do you know that will simply walk the dog. They put the bands on, they feel the fatigue like they're running sprints, lost 40 pounds in 6 weeks. How about people who play sports like pickleball or tennis or bike or do exercise? Here's the problem. You know it. You've done this exercise. It doesn't create that lactic acid burn that you need for 5 or 10 minutes. Now, Lisa, she doesn't do anything different. She just put the bands on while she's playing pickleball for 10 minutes. She takes them off. She keeps playing. She lost 17 pounds, no dieting. Here's Haley. Haley's already a yoga instructor and fitness instructor. She's a lot like Amber, who's got this background, but she's not doing high intensity exercise. She's doing 45 minutes of light or medium exercise, can't lose any weight. Switched her exercise to 15 minutes of walking, lost 15 pounds and 10 inches. And if that wasn't enough, guess what else happens when you do BFR? It's proven in studies to help your cardiovascular system get younger. So when most people think, oh, maybe I can't do that, high blood pressure, I'm on blood thinners, I'm on clotting medication, this is actually good for your heart. Guess what else it's good for? It's good for your bones. Your bones get stronger. Guess what else it benefits? Your brain. Seniors who have starting to have neurodegenerative problems. This helps increase blood flow into the brain. It also boosts your immune system. It also helps people who have adult onset diabetes because it helps control your blood sugar. And ladies, if that wasn't enough, it's even beneficial for varicose veins in your legs. And finally, you know, there's many copycats coming. 6 years ago when we started the B3 bands, and then 2 years ago we launched it. Now there's 10, 20, 30 companies making cheap counterfeit bands. We are the only company, just remember this, we are the only BFR bands in the industry that are proven that when you put them on, they don't increase arterial pressure. That means they're not dangerous, even for people with high blood pressure or pacemakers or previous open heart surgery, and they do not increase oxygen demand on the heart. Why is that? Well, if you go back to what I shared with you earlier, it's those multiple air chambers in the bands so that it does not act like a tourniquet. Well, let me get Amber unmuted here, and let me stop this screen sharing here, and let me bring her up here so we can get her front and center and spotlight her for everyone. There we go. Amber, we've got you front and center, and let's make sure we get you unmuted here.
We all good?
Amber, I know everybody's super excited to hear from you tonight. So heck, tell us your story and tell us why this is working so well for women.
Sure. Just a little bit of background from me to all of you. I am a certified athletic trainer with a long list of certifications of a lot of different things, from being a speed agility coach to a strength coach to being a fitness instructor to doing massage, body work, any kind of hacking into the parasympathetic nervous system. And so I learned about the B3 bands working with Rick Burkholder and the Innovate Athletic Training Association a year ago from 2 weeks. I've been using the bands for less than a year now. And I want to show you all real quick. This was me about 5 years ago before I'd had a total hysterectomy. And of course I was pretty chiseled out, but still bigger than I am now. And I thought that was my happy zone. This was me just a couple of years ago, right after hysterectomy, weighing right shy of 200 pounds. And this was about 6 months after that. So you can see the difference in all the inflammation. This was a year ago, December. And then last but not least, this was a year ago this week. And this is me now. Whoops. So down 46 pounds. I'm also the spokesperson for Life Pro Whole Body Vibration platform. So the challenge for me was trying to do enough exercise to reach my goals, because I've always have been following the science, calories in versus calories out. That's the old model that we've always known for so long. And for me, I was just continuing to swell. I had a head injury back in 2005, along with 8 spinal injuries, had to learn to walk again, and immediately the onset of fibromyalgia. So I've been dealing with chronic inflammation my whole adult life. I was 27 when that happened. And so I've been getting hormone testing done, at least once a year. Now I get it done about every 3 months, just so I know exactly where my testosterone levels, my sex hormone levels are, my thyroid. I want to know where all those numbers are. And so I've been doing that clinically through a nurse practitioner in holistic health, integrated health. And so I can actually follow the change of all of my lab work from when I started a little less than a year ago to where I'm at now. But I also have all my labs from 5 years ago because I've been doing this for a long time. And what I kept finding out was I would work out, work hard, and trying to manage a business. I run a sports medicine business. I've been in business for 13 years, and I'm a mom for a 10-year-old, and we live on a cattle farm, and life is just busy, right? So when we naturally experience a lot of stress, our body goes into a state of fight or flight. And for those that don't understand the different nervous systems, we have a sympathetic nervous system, which is our reaction system, and we have a parasympathetic, which is our recovery system, in which our body heals itself. I was always high alert in this sympathetic nervous system, and didn't realize that my body was continuing to feast on muscle tissue in order to be able to keep the energy requirements going for when I was doing the exercises, until I started getting hormone testing. And I went to see my physician, regular family physician, and he measured, my labs. My thyroid looked fine to him. I was 25 pounds overweight at the time. This was before I started to develop some issues with my uterus and my reproductive system. But nonetheless, with all of this, my cortisol, I can tell you, my cortisol levels were red flagged off the chart. But he didn't know how to help me. He didn't understand what that meant. He wanted me to take an antidepressant. He wanted me to start yoga and to do, traditional exercise, because again, family physician, they don't understand the hormones as well as some of those others who specialize in hormone therapy. And so I just continued to get worse. In fact, I did more yoga, did the antidepressants, had headaches all the time from doing the antidepressants, and then naturally went back for more lab testing, and my cortisol levels had got even higher. So, okay, this isn't working, doc. So it wasn't until I started doing some research in a bodybuilding website that I found that chronic cardiovascular exercise, chronic steady state exercise over the time frame of about 30 minutes at a time, your body starts to produce higher levels of stress hormones, because your body has to have that go, go, go cruise control mode. And so your body just feasts off of muscle, because you can store fat and live off of fat for the rest of your life, even if your body becomes more catatonic. So for me, I was depleting my muscle and actually holding on to fat, which was the exact opposite of what I was trying to do. And at the same time, developing high levels of toxicity, to the point that my adrenal gland and my kidneys could not filter the toxins. So I actually got sick. That was about 4 or 5 years ago. So I had to change my regimen quite a bit. And of course, started to get back on track, and then had a total hysterectomy 2 years ago. And boy, that'll shake the ground a little bit. And my gynecologist really thought that I was over and beyond, ahead of the process, because I could feel something was wrong with me. But he wouldn't listen. Like I told him, like, I know something's wrong. Things aren't working. I'm not feeling right. Can we get hormone testing done? And he was like, oh, you just need time. You just need another 6 months. I'm like, doc, I don't have 6 months. I have to be a mom, and I deserve better. So I started dabbling a little bit on my own, and started some testosterone hormone replacement therapy at that point, continued to blow up, continued exercising hard. And then about a year ago, went to Tulsa to work with Dr. Mike and Innovate AT, and working with Rick Burkholder from the Super Bowl. And come to find out, all Dr. Mike had to say was growth hormone and testosterone levels and lowering stress hormones. And I bought him immediately. It was a done deal. He didn't have to tell me anything. I already understood it. Brought them home, and in the first month, lost 8 pounds, immediately lost 8 pounds. The frustrating part for me, though, I was still doing 2-hour workouts. And at the time, I really didn't have the time to be doing 2-hour workouts. So, he contacted me. He said, Amber, how's the bands working? I'm like, oh, they're doing great. I'm working hard. And he was like, Amber, you're working too hard. So pandemic hits, right? And so we're all in lockdown. And so I started doing virtual workouts here for my clients, as well as starting seeing clients on a clinical basis here out of my home instead of going into the office. And in doing that, in order to try and multitask, I was doing the workouts for my clients, which happened to be the same workouts for myself. Dr. Mike happened to observe what I was doing and contacted me. And he said, Amber, I'm watching your workouts. You're still working way too hard. And I'm like, but Dr. Mike, like, this is what I do. This is what I've known my whole life. Like, calories out, calories in, right? He's like, no, you've got to shut it down after 20 minutes. And I'm like, okay. And I really wasn't excited about doing this. I didn't want to trust the process or trust the system. And so finally, okay, I'm going to give it a try. So I shut down the 2 1-hour separate workouts every day for my clients. So I was working out 14 hours of cardio a week, my friends, 14 hours. And I dropped that down to 30 to 45 minutes a day, not cardio, but just 30 to 45 minutes of combined stretching, yoga, movement circuits, just doing some of my regular cardio workouts. But I set the timer. So I would have a timer that was set up for every, 10 minutes, every 10, 20 minutes, I would continue to adapt and slow the workout down. And then after 20 minutes would go, I would remove the bands, and then we would do more core stabilization, pelvic floor, things that I knew I needed, and deep breathing, because deep breathing is how you exhale, converted fat molecules in the form of CO2. So I started doing a lot of deep breathing. And wouldn't you know, now it took 2 months for me to actually see the scale tip, but I dropped 2 sizes in 2 months. So for those of you who are just getting started, or for those of you who are waiting for that number to drop on the scale, you've got to stay away from the scale, because your body has to go through a metabolic transformation, and that requires a lot of shifting of hormones. And for those of you that don't understand what hormones are the chemical messengers of our body. So if the chemical messengers are of the body from the brain to your extremities aren't communicating well, and they're all getting false messages, then your body just doesn't regulate the same way. And then you add our stress with the pandemic on top of that, and those stress hormones continue to rise, which counteract kind of the process of fat loss. So once cortisol and norepinephrine go up, then it kind of kills the switch on fat loss. So the thing that worked for me, I was doing whole body vibration platform workouts for Life Pro, which wasn't hurting a whole lot, but I was trying to do all of it at the same time. And it wasn't until I started combining in order to consolidate my hours, my man time. I started doing the B3 workouts on the platform device, which I'm sitting on. And wow, like the fat melted off my frame, and I didn't even step on the scale. And I contacted my nurse practitioner that I get the hormone testing from, and she said, Amber, how on earth did you lose 12 pounds in a month? And I'm like, seriously, I've lost that much? And she was like, yeah, and you look fantastic. I'm like, huh, it's the B3 bands in combination with the platform. But here's the thing, I was already doing B3 bands with my regular workouts, doing walking, going up and down the stairs, jumping on the trampoline with my daughter, teaching kickboxing, doing everything that I do with my clients on a rehabilitation basis. I would try and maximize and multitask my time, and then was also doing the platform workouts separately so that I could, work with my customers and my clients from Life Pro. So when I started combining both together, that's when the biggest transformation happened. But I want you all to remember, my body had already gone through this 2-month metabolic transformation in which my body was ready to adjust, and it wasn't stressed. I mean, I was mentally stressed from things going on around me, but I wasn't adding the physical stress on top of that. I don't have fibromyalgia symptoms, although I'm diagnosed with fibromyalgia. I have been medicated for it. I don't take medication now. I also want you all to know I have taken every single diet pill you can imagine on the market, because that's how obsessed I am about getting my weight back to right. A little insight about me, I have body image problems because I was sexually abused as a child. So I have suffered that emotional stress my entire adult life. And so I will do whatever it takes in order to lose the weight. I would give somebody $5,000 if it meant that I was going to feel safe in my own skin. And so B3 bands gave me the first opportunity to do that drug free. And I have spent a lot of money on medical therapy for weight loss, working with a bariatric specialist. I've never had any kind of surgery for that, but I have had no trouble with taking the diet pills because I don't like to diet. And I've done the special diets. I haven't dieted the whole last 10 months that I've been doing the B3 bands or the whole body vibration platform. So you don't have to do a special diet if you're not ready to adapt to that. And what I encourage all of you that are just getting started is make sure that you are trying to change just a little bit at a time. So if you're trying to change your workout regimen, that's great, but don't change the regimen at the same time that you're rechanging a schedule, starting a new job, going back to work, e-learning, just because the more mental stress that you add on to what you're going through physically, the less you're going to experience the weight loss, because anytime your brain is mentally, emotionally stressed, those stress hormones continue to rise, even though you're physically not stressed. And I will tell you, the more that we sit, the more those stress hormones and that inflammation go up as well. So the thing for me that worked was using the bands and doing less working out. I just stand on my platform, or I'll do basic movements, doing chores, working again with clients, and that has made for a huge difference. I have more energy. My hair is better now than it's ever been. My skin has turned around. If you look at me from 20 years ago, I don't look like I'm 44 years old. And I haven't had any facial procedures done. This is as raw as it gets. So I just want you all to be patient with the process, because I have a lot of people that contact me and they're like, Amber, I haven't lost any weight and I've been on the B3 bands for a month. And I'm like, okay, but how does everything feel? And they're telling me, oh, well, everything feels great. And I'm like, okay, then let's have some gratitude with some of the small changes, because if you stay too obsessed about the scale, then the things that have to come along with, you don't tend to notice the other greatness that comes from the bands, because you're obsessed about that one thing that you're just missing everything else right in front of you. When you start to embrace everything else right in front of you, the weight will come off. You don't even have to try. I'm to the point now, I might do a B3 band workout, maybe 3-4 times a week. I don't get them in every day. I don't get my platform workouts in every day. I might get on one just to chill out at the end of the day before I go to bed. But I don't work out every single day. And I find the more that I allow my body to recover, even if I just put the bands on and just stand like I was just doing for the first 20 minutes, I got 20 minutes on the bands, just sitting listening to Dr. Mike with my feet elevated on this platform, just getting loosey-goosey and feeling the mobility in my body. And in doing that, I've multitasked, but it wasn't a workout. So you don't have to work hard in order to get the results with the bands. You just have to be a little bit smarter about it. So be patient with the process. I have a lot of clients who have started using the B3 bands, and they're noticing their autoimmune symptoms are fading away, whether they have fibro, whether they have MS. I've got some clients with Parkinson's. I've got some who have had body aches and pains, joint pain for their the last 5 to 10 years, and they're contacting me with great results that they're doing better. And then my other client, I've got one, she's in her 60s. She actually started to get too skinny, if you can believe that. And so I would ask her, what are you doing that you're losing all this weight over this pandemic? And she's like, I'm doing your workouts every day. And I'm like, with the bands on? And she was like, yeah, with the bands on. And I'm like, okay, we've got to dial you back, because she got so thin and so muscular that it was like, you're going to whittle away because there's not much left of you to lose. So we had to back her down just a little bit. But this is somebody who had chronic pain, and she wasn't doing it for the weight loss. She was doing it for the pain relief in her hip and in her joints with, just doing regular cycling or walking. So, and she's no longer dealing with pain on a regular basis. So those are just some things in which, the hundreds of clients I've worked with over just the past 10 months have experience with a combination or independently using the B3 bands and or the Life Pro whole body vibration platforms. So, if there's questions and you want to throw some questions at Dr. Mike in the chat room that I can answer if we have time, or feel free to contact me directly. Dr. Mike will provide you with my information. The easiest way to get a hold of me is via text message. So you can have Dr. Mike send you the information. And again, I'm here as a resource for you. I feel better now than I have in my entire adult life. And right now, I feel like I could go conquer the world. In fact, I'm kind of conquering the world in my world all at the
Yes,
same
you are.
time. So,
You are,
yes.
Amber, and that's awesome. And we appreciate you being on. Now, for anybody who wants to, we're going to get back to the presentation. Then at the end, we're going to stick around. I know a lot of you are going to have questions. We're going to stick around for those at the end. Any questions you have for Amber or for myself. And look, hey, if you want to get one of these vibration plates, these things are cool. I've got one and I absolutely love it. So we're going to give you some information. You can also add that. So now here we are. We're in 2021 and we now know what's going to happen, everyone. 2 years ago, we had this idea. We had this studies and science, and we thought we were onto something big. Now, this is going to turn into the greatest exercise revolution. It's going to completely change. It's not a fad. This isn't Tybo. This isn't Billy Blanks. This isn't Richard Simmons dancing to the oldies. This is a complete scientific breakthrough. And now, and Amber would say this, and all of our coaches, why would you exercise without the bands? Think about this for a second. You're going to go harder. You're going to go longer. You're going to be sore. You're going to create more stress hormones. You're going to get less growth hormone. If you're moving, like Amber's just sitting there, if you're on the bike, if you're moving, mowing the yard, exercising, doing it with the bands is going to completely change everything. And boy, is this company going to explode over the next 5 to 6 years. We are predicting that in the next 5 years, 1 million people are going to use B3 bands. And then as we go global, 10 million. Now, what does that mean to the people who are sharing it? Well, if you've watched me very often, I'm 99% about science and helping you exercise better. But guess what? This is going to be a giant company in the network marketing world. And if you don't want to be part of that, that's completely okay. We're thrilled if you're just a customer. But if you want to join us and share it with the people you care about, we've got an easy sharing program. And to give you a perspective, when we hit our goals, our distributors across the country and around the world will be sharing in $400 million annually. And because of the structure of our downline, there's limited positions at the top of our company. And as more people join, those people have to be placed under future consultants. But I don't want to spend a lot of time on that. Look, this is a very exciting financial opportunity, and you can certainly learn more about that. But let's get back to, hey, how do you get started? How do you get started on the greatest exercise ever? First, you order your B3 bands, and we're going to assign you a coach. What does that mean? We're going to send you a program, and you can even get a vibration plate and tune into Amber and do her programs, or you can do like our walking program or our powerlifting if you're a power lifter, or our pickleball program. We have 25 different programs, and then anytime you have a question, you'll simply email your coach. Maybe you're not feeling the burn, or maybe you think, hey, am I working out too hard, or I'm not seeing results. You're always going to have one of our coaches to answer your questions. So how do you get started? Well, to become a customer, like many people are doing, it's a $720 value. You get it for $429. You're going to get a set of bands that fit your arms and legs, and we're even going to send you a free set of exercise tubing so you can work out from anywhere. And we're going to provide coaching to you. That's our customer program. If you'd like to share it, maybe you know some people that would like to exercise better, that's our consultant program. You get a set of bands, you get the tubing, you get the coach, and you even get one of our great nutrition products, maybe the meal shaker, the Satisfy, to help you lose weight. I know Amber, she loves that Alert product that we have. She drinks that every day. And then we have a special program. This is an invite-only program. Maybe you've been in network marketing before. Maybe you've been looking for a home-based business. Maybe you're currently in network marketing. We have an invite-only level called Founder. It's a $1,600 value. You get multiple sets of bands. You get private mentoring from me, and you even get a paid-for seat in our BFR certification course. Now, we got a lot of customers on tonight. We have a special for customers. A lot of people, they want to try the bands first, and then they want to use the bands, get the results, and then they start thinking about people. we have an upgrade special. So for any of our customers, if you'd like to upgrade and apply your $429 customer order, you can do that. You can upgrade to the $599 consultant or the $1,200 founder and apply your customer order to learn about this. And again, you'd love the bands. Now you're thinking, hey, I know some people, I'd like to share it. Just send us an email to support@b3sciences.com and we will share that with you. Now, no matter what program you do, customer, consultant, founder, our bands come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, and that starts the day you get them. So if it takes 5 days to deliver them, and it typically takes only 3 to 4 days, you get 30 days from the day you get your hands on them to experience them. Even try our products, ask questions. And if you don't love the B3 man, simply contact us for a full refund. But here's what I can tell you. 2 things. If you use the bands, they're not coming back. And number 2, once you get on the bands, every single person will tell you, like Amber, you never go back to the old way of exercising again. You'll be doing this new efficient exercising for the rest of your life. If you're on a financial tight budget, we even have a 0 down, 0 interest program for 6 months with our partner program with PayPal. And if you're really excited, become one of our BFR certified coaches. We'll train you in a 6-hour course online, and then we will certify you. You'll be listed on our coaches certification directory on our website. You'll also at the top of your own personal website have a tag that says BFR certified coach, and you will be the expert. Because here's what I can tell you. All across the country, people are starting to hear about this. And we are going to need these certified coaches everywhere. We now have about 100, but we're going to need about 10,000 certified coaches over the next 5 to 6 years. And that will make you the expert in your area. And boy, will that give you an opportunity to build a great business. So now you're probably going to have questions. You can get back to the person who referred you tonight, or if all else fails, hey, look, just email us at support@b3sciences.com. Next week, live workouts. This is going to be fun. I'm going to be doing a live workout. Janine Grohl there is going to be doing a live workout. I'm going to be showing you a 6-minute upper body workout. Janine's going to show you about a 5-minute lower body workout. So come back next Wednesday and bring your bands. And then we got a former NFL great. He is shocked at what he is seeing in him and his wife and his athletes. Make sure you come back for these 2. And if you're not getting the emails, just make sure you're on our email list. If you don't know, same thing, email us at support@b3sciences.com and we will get you on the newsletter. I want to thank everybody for attending the presentation tonight and for everybody that's watching this recorded presentation.